and welcome back to my channel. I'm just going to be doing one video today, just talking to you about a little visit I made recently to Portsmouth last week, on Thursday the 20th of September. This was a trip that I'd been planning for quite some time, and I'd done a Google Maps of where I was going. Google Maps is absolutely fantastic because you can walk there virtually, and by walking there virtually and seeing it all in that three-dimensional landscape, just as you would if you were walking there in real time, in real life, I find really helpful, because I can't read one-dimensional maps, but I can read, I can't read, the standard maps. I would be completely lost because I can't make sense of them. But on Google Maps, it's just like you're walking in real time through a real landscape. And I'm actually pretty good at focusing. Like I'm looking, as I'm taking notes and everything, I'm kind of taking it all in. And I actually found I didn't actually have to look at my notes when I went, because I'd remembered it all. Because it's all like three-dimensional, I can form that image in my head, and I'm doing it, in my own time, very kind of, as it were, painstakingly, and really kind of like focusing in on it. And so Google Maps is absolutely fantastic, and it really does make me feel like so much more familiar with places. It makes it a lot easier for me to go places, so brilliant. I love Google Maps. So anyhow, I did a lot of preparation, and I found out there were a couple of interesting shops in Portsmouth that I'd like to visit, but I decided not to visit them all in one day, because I thought that'd be a little bit too much, and I was getting a little bit overwhelmed trying to think, try to work out how I would fit it all into one day. So then I decided just to do one at a time, and I think that was a good idea actually, because by doing that I could visit one place each time I go to Portsmouth, and then the rest of the time when I'm there I can go to places I'm already familiar with. So it's like a little challenge for myself, a little bit of an adventure. It's almost like a sort of game, almost like I don't know. It's how was it? It does feel like an adventure, and that sense of achievement once I've found the place. And I was like, I walked there all on my own, and I've actually done this, and it is quite a sense of achievement, particularly as it doesn't really come all that easily to me. So being able to do that is kind of makes me feel quite accomplished, and I'm like, yeah, so I can do this after all. So that's really good. So yeah, a little bit of an adventure. So this time round, anyhow, I decided to go to a shop called Folio in Portsmouth. I'd googled it beforehand. Now, one of my little special interests, as it were, not so much now, but it certainly was about a year ago, because I go through phases. It's kind of connected to my dominant interest in philosophy, which is like my second major interest alongside food, was that I did have a little splinter interest in the hippie movement. I'm not entirely sure why, but I think it's because I'm quite interested in unconventional stuff, like groups of people who are a bit marginal in society, a bit unconventional, a bit wacky, a bit bohemian, because I can relate to that, because I'm a little bit of an oddball myself, so I can kind of relate to the quirky and the eccentric and all of that. And I guess I became a little bit obsessed with it, and still am to some extent, because it's something, although it's not like autism, which obviously I'm also very interested in because I have it, but it's kind of like another group that is kind of a bit different to the mainstream. So I do find the hippie movement quite interesting. I'm not a hippie by myself, by the way. I'm not a hippie. I would not claim that for the world. But I am interested in the hippie movement. So anyhow, Folio self-proclaimed itself as a kind of like hippie bohemian shop, so that kind of led to its appeal, really. And it looked really interesting. It describes itself as a gothic hippie shop, and in all the pictures online it has a purple front. So I was really looking forward to a shop stuffed full of ethnic scarves and headdresses. I got a little thing about headdress. Oh my god, I got so many bandanas and headbands. It's unreal, and I don't know, I just have a bit of a collection. The silly thing is, I don't even wear all of them, but I just have this thing about them. I don't know what it is, and I still want more. It's ridiculous. It's one of the few things I do spend quite a lot of money on. So I thought, maybe I could get another one to add to my collection. But before visiting, I walked over Google Maps. Now, annoyingly, 2 days before I was due to travel, my dad informed me that my community, my CPN, or she acts a bit like a sort of social worker, she sort of manages my care package, had agreed to see me on Thursday at 2 p.m. for an important support review. After my previous support worker's departure, I've not been receiving all the hours I'm entitled to, and so council funding is not being spent, resulting in a letter from the council that has caused my dad lots of stress. It is ridiculous, because it really is the council's responsibility to ensure smooth transitions, particularly as I'm autistic and I find transitions difficult, and obviously it's going to be hard for me to utilise all those hours when I'm getting used to a new support worker, but I still need those hours, and it's up to the care manager to really facilitate all this, instead of putting all the stress on the family. And yes, I could spend a whole other video talking about that. So yes, my dad's been under a lot of stress. So I've not been receiving my full entitlement because I'm still getting used to my new support worker. But the council is not great on communication and flexibility. Bit ironic. So as it was such short notice, I got stressed and told my dad that I could not see the person who manages my support this Thursday because my routine and plan always comes first. My dad, therefore, my dad had to rearrange the meeting, therefore, and I gave him a few new dates I could do, including next Wednesday, the 26th of September, which is today. I wrote this last week, by the way, these notes. But I've completely forgot that was the day I was due to go on a supported outing to Brighton with my new support worker, which has been really stressful because I wanted to go to Brighton today. It's really not good. And it's a lovely day, and it's really nice and sunny outside. Trust my luck, next week's going to be horrible and raining. So my dad cannot rearrange again. And now my funding is now at risk of being stopped if the meeting does not go ahead. So annoyingly, I'm not going to Brighton on Wednesday, which is today, as planned. So yes, it is a little bit stressful. I did have a little bit of a meltdown over it at first. I screamed and shouted at my dad. Hadn't done that for ages. I think I'm getting a little bit better though at dealing with those things. In the past, it would have gone on and on and on, but it was only a little mini meltdown. And aside from clawing off some paint off a banister when I was with my dad, I calmed down quite quickly. I calmed down a lot quicker than I did in the past. I think I'm getting a little bit better at these things. But yeah, it's stressful. And I did calm down now when I did find out eventually I am still going to go to Brighton. It's been deferred now to next Wednesday. So now once I got over that, it's still stressful, particularly as it's such a nice day today. And as I say, I'll probably be jinxed. Next week will probably be a horrible day. But it's just one of those things. I am quite pissed off about it, but there we go. Has to happen, and there we go. So anyway, back to Portsmouth. I might have to do this on 2 videos because I think this one might run out of me. So I'm going to move on now to another video, only because I don't... So part 2 about Portsmouth, I just talked about the preparation. I'm just going to move on to part 2 now because I'm worried this video is going to cut out on me. So moving on to part 2.